Cayman Brac, West and Little Cayman, both Moses came. He's the man with a better plan, and Miss Julie is okay. Thank you, Mr. MC. Thank you, Joey. Good evening, Cayman Brac. Quincy, thank you for the song. Don't let them lead you wrong. Tell the rest of them just go along. Progressive strong. Cayman Brac strong. Cayman Islands strong, strong, strong. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard Minister Borden speak and outline some of the areas of his ministry and the accomplishments there. You've heard Minister Archer speak to tell you about the firm financial foundation that this administration has delivered and his stewardship as the Minister of Finance. The Honorable Speaker, Mrs. Juliana O'Connor Connolly, and the Deputy Premier, Moses Kekernel, are all going to talk to you about the issues of Cayman Brac, the accomplishments of this administration under their leadership for Cayman Brac. So I am not going to focus really on those things. I want to talk to you tonight about the importance of consistency, the importance of teamwork, and the importance of competence in the people that you elect. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been elected 4 times. I thank the people of Georgetown for their confidence in me. I have worked in the Legislative Assembly with these 2 individuals, Moses and Julie, for almost that entire period. Moses was elected in 2005, which was 4.5 years after I was first elected. I can tell you that I have watched the representatives of Cayman Brac work on your behalf through that 16.5 years. But I have never witnessed a period when Cayman Brac has been better represented because of the teamwork between its two representatives. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we now have, as of today, 6-1 candidates contesting these 19 seats in the Cayman Islands. And of them, I think there are now 33 independent candidates. And the independents tell you, and the people who are directing the independents tell you, that teams are bad things, parties are bad things, and you would be far further ahead electing independent people, independent thinking, independent thinkers. Independent thinkers are fine and good. But I don't know of any individual that can ever beat a team. The good book itself tells us a house divided against itself cannot stand. Cayman Brac needs united representation. We do not, Cayman Brac, tell you the truth, I'm almost considering myself a Cayman Bracer now. When I got off the flight, somebody said, "You up here again?" I said, "Yeah, I'm up here again. This is 4 times for this year." He said, "Well, we might as well give you Cayman Brac status." So I asked Moses and Julie about it, and they say, "Only if we win these elections." But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know of any situation in which an individual pulling here and an individual pulling there is ever going to achieve as much as a team which pulls together. And this business about, well, you elect this one here, and you elect that one there, and you elect that one over there, and the morning after election, they'll all come together, they'll have a prayer, and all of a sudden, everything is going to be well and good and perfect, and somehow they are going to divine a plan to take this country forward over the next 4 years. It's a pipe dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about this. Those of you who love football, or whether it's baseball or basketball, whatever your sport is, think about your sport. And ask yourself which team you know that the people turn up on the pitch half an hour before the game. And then they decide, well, okay, it's 11 of us, so Johnny, you're going to be goalkeeper. Mary, you're going to be striker. Johnny, you gonna be a defender, and the rest of you all just fill in where you're going. Which sporting organization, which group, which organization would operate successfully in that way? But that is what the independents are trying, and have been trying for years, to tell this country that the country is going to be better off with people who have never worked together, have not sat down and devised any plan, any program about how they are going to direct the affairs of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not Cayman of 30 or 40 years ago. We are only a small little place of 100 square miles, the three islands combined, 63,000 people thereabouts. But we have all of the issues, all of the complexities of any developed country in the world. And we are the envy of most countries in the world, certainly of the region. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is because you have a government that understands the issues, have worked together. Don't think that we all get along like you see how friendly we all up here are, and everybody smiling at everybody. I promise you that's not how it works in the caucus room or the cabinet room. We battle about issues, but we all have a common purpose, and that is to steer this country in the right direction. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am not, when I talk, I'm going to say it straight. Independents, a group of independents, cannot run this country. It will be chaos. It will be disaster. I'm not speaking on the basis of what somebody tell me or some book I read. When I was first elected in 2000, there were no teams, no full teams, I should say, no group of people who fielded anything close to full slate. There were 4 led by the Honorable McKeever Bush in West Bay. There was Kurt Tibbetts and myself in Georgetown. There was Gilbert McLean and Roy Borden in Bordentown. And that was the closest anybody came to a team. I was a political novice. We had to try to put together a government after the elections. We did. The first attempt at it failed the day after, even before we were sworn in. The second group we put together, which my dear friend Kurt Tibbetts led, that government lasted 1 year before the infamous coup when the Honorable McKeever Bush took over. I know of no period in modern Cayman political history since 1972 that this country has not been led by a team, a group, an alliance, whatever you call it, of people who had sat down together and agreed on a common purpose, a common set of policies, principles, programs. Because you can't run anything without organization and without some level of agreement about how you take the important issues of education and health and infrastructure, whatever the issues are, forward. I would never tell anyone that you have to have a formal party like we do, but you have to have a group of people who have come together around a common set of principles and policies and say we are prepared to say this is our position with respect to healthcare, with respect to education, with respect to how we develop infrastructure, social services, whatever the issue is. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't let anyone fool you into believing that because they are a good person, and I am not here to malign anyone, there are a lot of good people who are standing for elections, and the country needs that. But the country needs consistency, continuity. If anyone can tell us or tell me how this administration has failed this country and these islands, then I am willing to listen. But all of the indicators are that these Cayman Islands are poised to go from strength to strength. The first 4 years, as Minister Archer outlined, we spent most of our effort and energy in working to stabilize the financial situation, to make policy decisions which would encourage investment in the economy, that we could put more people back to work. We have done that. Have we done everything perfectly? I would never try to claim that. But I know this, because I've been coming to Cayman Brac since I was 20 years old, and I'm 55 now. I know that Cayman Brac has enjoyed a great deal of benefit under the leadership of this administration, and in particular under the leadership of the Deputy Premier Moses Colonel and Mrs. Juliana O'Connor Connolly. If there is anybody else out there who has their experience, their passion, their ability to lead Cayman Brac, they haven't turned up yet in this election campaign. And I'm not saying that no one will ever turn up. No one lives forever and no one lasts forever. We do need people to come up and take over the reins in the future. But that future is not this election. That is some other election. We need to keep these two individuals in office in Cayman Brac to continue the good work and complete some of the good work that they have done. We know what under Moses' leadership we have done with airlift, what we've done with the airport, what we're doing with sports. The best is yet to come. And let me tell you from a Cayman Islands perspective, because I don't play games and I don't pretend what is not. I as the political leader of this party, I need you, ladies and gentlemen, to help ensure that these two seats in Cayman Brac are firmly in the Progressives' camp the morning after elections. Unless I can count 10, the Progressives will not have the government. It is as simple as that. The majority of 19 is 10. I want you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to give me your assurance by a round of applause that you will deliver those two seats for me. Ladies and gentlemen, under the Progressives' leadership, under the leadership of Moses Colonel and Juliana O'Connor Connolly in Cayman Brac. Cayman Brac is strong, the Cayman Islands is strong, and we are Progressive strong. Good night.